What's up, guys? Welcome back to CounterCap TV. As always, I'm Alec. And today we're going to talk about the power rankings, my personal power rankings, for the CWL Pro League Division A. That is Team Caliber, Optic Gaming, Rise Nation, Echo Fox, Aero Eternity, Red Reserve, Team Vitality, and Mindfreak. Now, CWL NOLA was not that long ago. We know what these teams are capable of. We've seen them in action very recently. I don't think a whole lot is going to change, and so I don't think, all in all, that my power rankings are going to surprise anybody. I think this is pretty standard across the board. There may be one or two that people think can, move up a spot or down a spot, but really, I think this is kind of the agreed upon definitive power ranking. And yeah, let's get into it. So, like I said, the 8 teams that are competing, already listed them. Today, the matches start. This is Tuesday, in about 4 hours or so. And the matches on schedule for today are Rise Nation versus Vitality to start it off, I believe. Aero Eternity versus TK next. Mindfreak versus Red Reserve. Team Caliber versus Optic Gaming. And Aero again coming back on stream to play Echo Fox. Also, in the background of this video, the background of this video, what you're going to be seeing is just a random search game from a ranked play lobby that I was in. I had a better game and an entirely different setup in mind for this video, but had some things fall through. A recording didn't come out the way I planned, but nonetheless, we're moving on. We're making it happen. Watch if you want to. It's nothing really that exciting. The last couple of rounds are pretty cool, but let's get into it. In the number 1 spot, I have Team Caliber, and that should surprise 0 people at this point. They are far and away the league's best team, and even when getting outslayed, which they do the majority of the time, they're just undeniable. They are far and away the best team in the game. LG is right underneath them, but they're in Pool B, or Group B, whatever it's called, so we don't really have to worry about them today. And so next, I have Rise Nation. If you watch NOLA, you know that Rise is nothing to play with. Methods is a madman, proving that he's one of the best assault rifle players to ever do it. He's back with a vengeance. He's really killing it, and the rest of the guys, they're just letting him do it. They're really, really climbing up to that level. They're really playing to their potential. If you don't know that roster, some people aren't as familiar with them. That is Methods, Looney, TJ Haley, and Gunless. Next up, I have Echo Fox, and if you don't know that roster either, that would be Bryce Vicento, Aqua, Saints, and Assault. Now these guys, another team that can just slay with the best of them. They beat Optic in what was honestly a pretty easy set for them. They were pretty good games, but Echo Fox just looked in control at NOLA when they got the 3-1 off, I believe it was. And they played LG and Rise super close. They are also one of the best teams in the game. Don't sleep on them. These guys know what they're doing. The chemistry on that team is next level. They are nothing to sleep on, but I just don't think they're going to be able to climb over that Rise and TK hump, who I think right now are the 2 hottest teams in the group. Though, my next guys might have something to say about that. Or not, we don't know. They've looked a little shifty. Optic Gaming, they haven't really put it together completely on LAN yet, but we know these 4 guys can get it done at any time. They've had bad practice. They said that they weren't really ready at New Orleans because the practice was bad. They didn't really, catch up to the meta with their practice. But come on, look at these 4 and tell me that they can't compete with anyone in the world and play anyone in this game close. Look at the first 2Ks. Has the game changed? Yes, absolutely. But they were still just unbelievable. And, I mean, just mind-blowing in some of those games. And I don't think, all in all, that it's changed that much. Are they behind? Absolutely. Can they catch up? Can they close the distance in this event? I don't think so. That's why I think they're a little further down. But you can't count these guys out. There was no way they were going lower than this, just off the fact that with a team that has formal Crim 6, Seth, and Karma on it. No, it's not going to happen. Sure, they had a bad placing at NOLA. They played pretty well at Dallas before getting knocked out with the back-to-back 3-0s or 3-1, 3-0, whatever that was. Pretty sure it was back-to-back 3-0s. But you just, come on. It's not even fair. It's unreal how good these guys are, and if they swing it back around, I don't think anyone would be surprised. However, the team that knocked them out at New Orleans, also in the running very well. Let's talk about it. Red Reserve. They went insane in losers bracket play. They beat Optic, FaZe, E United, and Mindfreak, and that's nothing to laugh at. That is a very solid team set, and honestly, if Red comes out hot, then I've underrated them severely. If they can get off to a good start, then they absolutely should be higher up on this list. I just don't know that they'll be able to get those early wins off, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Watching, watching them kind of keep themselves in it early, because I think if they do get a good win, and one of their first 2 matches, if they can really get a strong win, then I think that momentum can carry them forward. And we know, like I said, they can play with anybody. They'll make it close. I just don't know if they can consistently finish off games yet. Next up, we've got that Aero roster. Used to be Doom Clan. Now they're with Era Eternity. And I really like these guys. Don't get me wrong. I think these are 4 really, really good players. And for the most part, they're all underrated. I mean, Ricky, veteran guy, has been around since Modern Warfare 3, really, to the public. I don't know what his history is before that, but that's the earliest time I can remember seeing Ricky play. And he's always been good. Has he been elite all the time? Probably not. But has he been good? Has he been able to compete? Absolutely. And is this his best game in years? Yeah, I would say so. You pair that along with Bevels, Decimate, and Pharaoh, who are all really grinding this game out, who all understand this game. They have a shot, but because they're a young team, because they haven't been together that long, I just don't expect to see the consistency needed to finish off some of these games. I think they're going to hang in there. I think they're going to make them close, but I can ultimately see them dropping a few games in some close situations because I don't think that they're as well put together as some of these other teams just because they haven't had the practice. And that's the same problem that's haunting my next team, which is Team Vitality. These guys are good. There's no way to say that they're bad. There's no way you can. They beat LG, they beat Envy, and honestly, another team that I'm probably underrating them. In my head, they're probably better than I give them credit for. And I give them a fair amount of credit. I just don't think they're going to be able to climb the mountain this particular event. Most of that is because they don't have the best competition to practice against. It's a slow scene over there with those guys. They're French, I believe. Fairly certain that's right. And a lot of people thought it was the internet that got them in that early running, that got them here. They proved on land that they can play with people. I think this event will set them up nicely for the future, but I just ultimately don't think they're there quite yet. But again, solid guys, solid team. Was it Whalers, Mauls, Risking, and Xerox? Those guys, I mean, you really, when you watch them, you get a feel like these guys could take it to the next level soon. You see them and it's like, okay, these games, they're playing well, but there's just a little bit missing. And I think with better practice, especially in this setting, you have 3 days to just play against some of the best in the world. This will set them up fantastically for the future. Now, next and last on the list, next and last on the list is Mindfreak, which is Buzzo, Shox, Fida, and Dins. And these guys are weird. I'll go ahead and say it. They're good, and then they're not. They're good, and then they're really, really not good. Honestly, I like them, like all as players, watching them play. I like their style. I like the way that they fit together, but you just don't know what to expect. Sometimes they look like they can really shake something up and make moves, especially coming out of like the losers bracket in Dallas. They were playing really well, and then it just disappeared. They just haven't looked the same since. I want these guys to do well. I just don't think it's in the cards for them this event. There's just too much power ahead of them. There's too many really good teams in this group. And I know I've said ultimately a lot in this video. Sorry. It's one of my favorite words. Don't know why it's happened so much. But moving on. Past that. Again, Mindfreak, I don't think they're going to put it together they're like they're good people. They're good players. They have bright futures, and if they can put together runs like they did at Dallas, they can still compete in the World League. It's not in the cards for them. I don't see it happening. I wish them the best, though. I hope they do surprise everyone. I would love to see the international guys really come out and cause a scene and stir and shake things up, but I just don't see it happening. That will be it for the for Group A. That's the 8 teams that are playing. Like I said, today we've got Rise versus Vitality. I could see Rise taking that pretty easily, to be honest. Aero versus TK will be interesting, because I don't think Aero is one of those teams that will heavily outslay TK like they have been in some of their other matches. So I can see it being a little more even on the scoreboards, but again, TK, they just find a way to win regardless of the situation. Gotta think they're gonna take that victory home. Red Reserve versus Mindfreak. Again, like I said, if Red gets hot, I think they'll start moving. And Mindfreak, they're not the best competition, but that might be what Red Reserve needs to get them going. If they get this win, if they get out there and they really put down a dominant win over them, that'll set them up great for day 2. And like I said, could be the push that they needed. And then the matchup of the day for a lot of people will be Team Caliber versus Optic Gaming. A matchup that in the early 2Ks was fantastic. It was something that you wanted to see. It was something that everyone was asking for. We're finally getting to see it again. Dallas, we saw it. It didn't work out for Optic. They haven't looked amazing since then, to be honest, but if they do swing it around, if they're gonna get their turnaround, this would be one hell of a way to start it with a win over your back-to-back champions. I have TK taking this match, but I'm really just hoping for a good game. And that's really, I think that's all we can ask for as a community, because those are 2 of the prime teams right now in the game. And yeah, it should be exciting. Everyone's looking forward to this. Unfortunately, just lost that last, or didn't necessarily lose the gunfight, but it got forced out of the fight over there. Got double teamed, as you can see in this. We just lost this game 6-5. It was fun. Had a good time. Had a teammate go 4-11, so that wasn't fun. But let me get back to it. The last thing I gotta say about today: Aero versus Echo Fox will be closing out the stream, and that's going to be a great match. There's no way that that's not going to be one of the better matches of the day, in my opinion. I have Echo Fox taking it because I just think, again, the slaying power is super heavy in that team. And Aero being a young team, I think that's the kind of adversity that they don't know how to get over yet. I think if they go down in the slaying totals early, I don't know how they're going to fight their way back out of it. I could see it being a close one, but yes, Echo Fox, I believe, will be taking that matchup. And that's it. That's all I've got for now, guys. I will be updating for day 2. I'll be bringing some updates on Twitter. You can find me at CounterCap on there. I might even be live streaming throughout the day, so if you want to come in, stop by twitch.tv/CounterCap. All the links will be in the description. But yeah, that'll do it, guys. Rotate back tomorrow. I'll have another video coming for you. Probably some ranked play, road to gold. I'm trying to climb out of silver. I'm done with it. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.